Hi, this is Trey Pastor. I just got through recording my Blu-ray update, which I'm going to upload in a few minutes. But I recorded it before that second time because I kind of ran it in the middle of it, and I didn't want to do that in the video. I want to save this rant, I guess, for now. And this movie here that I showed in my update, R.I.P.D. 3D, which is one of the bombs of this year summer. Cost like over $130 million to make. I read somewhere. Anyway, my rant is basically about studios and movies in general. I guess my rant is mostly about how some movies get greenlighted. Okay, now this movie, I'm gonna go with three movies: After Earth, The Lone Ranger, and this movie, R.I.P.D. Okay, first, now those three are the biggest bombs this year. Okay, now After Earth, of course, was the story about Will Smith and his son. You know, he was this great legendary commander, and he had a son. He was estranged from his son. His son wanted to be a ranger like him and stuff. But of course, you know, his mother made him go out on his last mission, and the plane crashed, and he landed on Earth, and it was, you know, basically his father broke his leg, Will Smith broke his leg, and then his son had to go on his own. Anyway, this movie is directed by M. Night Shyamalan, but that movie, like I said, the reason that movie sucked as much as it did, because first of all, it had a horrible script. And again, I don't know if somebody didn't want to tell Will Smith, and maybe they would have never greenlighted the movie with Will Smith if maybe Will Smith told the studio, "Listen, you got to put my son in this movie." Well, I'm not going to do it. And the studio said, "Okay, well, we'll put him in the movie." And like I said, I don't know. So I can't speak to this, how Earth did overseas, but I know it bombed here in the States. And again, like I said, terrible script, horrible casting decision by putting his son in. His son who can't act. I'm sorry, he can't. Okay? And his son is annoying. Okay? And even though I didn't mind him in the Karate Kid remake, I thought that was actually good. And that's mostly because of Jackie Chan. Okay? And that, but anyway, should have never put Will Smith, his son, in the movie. He should have never. And I think it would have worked better as a movie if they would have not stranded Will Smith on the ship and would have just let him go, let him and his son, because the whole purpose of his mother making him take his son with him was so they could bond and be close together. And of course, then they don't spend any time together, okay? Which makes no sense, okay? It would have been a better movie, like I said, if Will Smith, if they'd have crashed on the planet, and like I said, father and son would have been together, and actually fighting the elements and fighting the animals and stuff, and actually bonding, okay? And then they made it this big to-do about Will Smith being he's a legend. He did this thing called ghosting, it was just too much, okay? And just made it a horrible movie, okay? And then you have The Lone Ranger, okay? Again, I should have known from the beginning of it when they cast I forgot what's his name. Jesus Christ! Hold on. I'm gonna rant and then I don't remember what his name is. Hold on. Armie Hammer. Okay. First of all, this movie, I think Lone Ranger. Let me see how much it cost. I think it cost something ridiculous to make. $215 million was the estimated budget. That's not counting. Advertisements, which is probably another $100 million and stuff. But anyway, The Lone Ranger. First of all, the script was horrible. First of all, if you're gonna make The Lone Ranger, why make a Lone Ranger movie where you? But I think I know what their line of thinking was, which I think was totally retarded. But their line of thinking was, oh, listen, we'll make a movie with The Lone Ranger. We'll make it sort of like the Pirates of the like the Pirates movies, with Johnny Depp. We'll make it, except in this, we'll make it a big action thing where you got explosions, people falling and doing all kinds of wacky stuff. But again, stupid. And the script was horrible. Why you make the title character, the Lone Ranger, Armie Hammer's character, be an asshole? Okay, how do you want people to relate to his character if his character is an asshole? And that's what he was for the most of the movie. Armie Hammer's Lone Ranger's character was an asshole. Okay, so how would you bond with him if he was an asshole? That made no sense. Okay, And again, and I think another part of it was Armie Hammer is not a big enough star to be the Lone Ranger anyway. And then you cast Johnny Depp, who of course is a way bigger star than Armie Hammer is, and then you give him kind of the best parts of the movie. Tonto, you give him the best parts. It was ridiculous. I was a big Lone Ranger fan growing up, and what I loved about, especially the relationship between Tonto and the Lone Ranger, was that they did bond. That they met as kids, and when Tonto saved the Lone Ranger after he got ambushed, and of course they had this great relationship, and of course they throw out all the hell in this movie to make it silly and a joke, and I don't know what they spent the 215 million on, because I know they said they built a city, I think. So, but still, 215 million. I know somebody probably got fired. A lot of people probably got fired over that. Okay, that was just ridiculous. And again, flashbacks with old Tonto talking about the adventures of the Lone Ranger. Okay, just a horrible script. I'm sorry, and making the Lone Ranger an asshole. And then, come on, it's just ridiculous. And you could, like I say, you could tell who the villain was a mile away. You could tell You could tell from the beginning of the movie. It was like so practically telegraphed to you. It practically should have stamped it on your head who the villain was in this movie. It's just ridiculous. Okay, and I think eventually Disney's going to stop greenlighting these movies because $215 million for this. Come on, really? This is, like I said, somebody probably got fired. And then last but not least, R.I.P.D. Okay, which is Rest in Peace Department. Again, this movie cost $130 million to make, and was this movie horrible script. 96 minutes. I know this movie. They said this movie was in development hell for like a lot of years, and this is based on like a graphic novel. And I don't know if this came first or Men in Black came first, so I can't speak to that. But basically, since this came out second, everybody's going to, of course, compare this to Men in Black, and of course, when you compare it to Men in Black, it's no comparison. You had one hand, you got Tommy Lee Jones and Will Smith, and you got Will Smith's charisma. And I know a lot of people give Ryan Reynolds crap, but he wasn't the problem with this movie. Okay, this terrible script, okay, horrible direction, bad CGI, okay, and then 130 minutes. What did they spend it on? Because this movie's like 96 minutes. I know that they spent it all on special effects because it didn't seem like the CGI was absolutely horrible. If that CGI cost $100 million, somebody should be fired for that. Okay, I don't know how this movie got greenlighted with the actually horrible script. I'm saying the script was just horrible. Okay, just absolutely horrible. Okay, and how it cost $130 million. Like I said, somebody got to get fired. And like I said, all three of those movies, like I said, After Earth I think was the worst, and then The Lone Ranger, and then R.I.P.D. I guess. So I guess this would be the least of the worst, I guess, in my opinion. So next time, studios, when you try to, you're going to invest all this money in a movie, make sure the script is tight. You can't tell me that they're not script writers, or there definitely are good enough screenwriters out there that can give you a decent script, okay? And you make sure you get a good director as well, because the director is ultimately the one in charge. And like I said, M. Night Shyamalan was the one who directed After Earth. And I know people give him crap for a lot of crap, but he has talent. But I don't think exactly that. The problem with that movie, like I said, the horrible script, the horrible choice of putting Will Smith's son in it, and just separating Will Smith from his son. Okay, so you definitely saw all the flaws in his horrible acting by separating him, and then the Lone Ranger by making the Lone Ranger an asshole. Okay, and a villain that's so predictable and making the movie slapstick, okay, with a great character like the Lone Ranger. Come on. And then this part, again, this one, if you're going to do a Men in Black, a story similar to Men in Black, at least try to get the same type of vibe, okay? And you didn't have that kind of vibe in this movie. It was just all over the place and felt too rushed in the beginning and slow. Well, not too rushed and slow, but it felt, the movie was kind of dragged in the first beginning of it, and then the second half, like the movie was uneven, okay, and it had a horrible script, okay, and so maybe next time when you invest all this money in a film, Okay, make sure you get a decent script. I don't care if you have to have a couple of people proofread it or something, or debate it and stuff, and then make sure you get a competent director. Okay, because I mean, even a good director can, can make, I think, even crap look good. But please, next time, don't do it. Okay, just don't do it. Okay? Those three movies, like you said, some movies are gonna bomb. This is just inevitable with all the movies being released. That some movies are not just gonna make as much money. But After Earth, The Lone Ranger, and this movie should have never, with the scripts they had, never been made. I'm sorry, the scripts are just horrible, and how anybody approves of those and they get fired behind this is ridiculous. Especially the Lone Ranger, and After Earth, which is, like I said, Will Smith is a big star, but come on, somebody, you got to be able to tell even the big stars, say, listen, well, we're not going to put your son in this movie, okay? If you want to put your son in a different movie, okay, we'll make this movie and we'll put all this money into it, but we're going to get a decent young actor to be your son in this movie, okay? If you don't want to do that, then goodbye. We'll get somebody else to play. We're going to greenlight this movie. We'll get another star, okay, to do it, okay? I know, somebody has to have the ability to say no to these, to stars and tell them, listen, this is not going to work, okay? Okay, and the same thing with The Lone Ranger. I mean, I know the same director who directed the Pirates movie, I think the last Pirate movie, directed The Lone Ranger. I mean, but come on, the script was horrible, and somebody should have said, listen, maybe it's not, Johnny Depp, people like Johnny Depp, but maybe he's not the right choice to be Tonto in this movie, and maybe you get a bigger star to be the Lone Ranger, okay, and then you can cast an unknown as Tonto, and then work on the script to make sure that the Lone Ranger doesn't come off as an asshole in the movie, okay, and then you don't have to spend 200-something million on it, okay, to make a decent Western, okay. How about asking Clint Eastwood to direct it, or something, somebody who's good with Westerns or something. Can you imagine if Clint Eastwood directed a Lone Ranger movie? Okay, I guarantee you, if he saw that script, he would have said, hell no, we got to do this script over again. This is ridiculous. Too much silliness in this. And then this R.I.P.D., which was in development hell for a long time. I said, I think over 10 years. That should have been a clue. Okay? Okay, you should have had somebody totally rewrite the script and say, listen, we have big enough stars in it, Jeff Bridges and Ryan Reynolds and Mary Louise Parker and Kevin Bacon. If we take our time and make a decent script, okay, and get a decent director, okay, to direct it, and not make it like 96 minutes so it goes, so it doesn't explain things, so you got to basically speed through things, and and it still sucked anyway. Come on, okay. So let me know what you think of my rant about big budget blockbusters that have horrible scripts and horrible premises and runaway budgets. Just let me know what you think. Feel free to leave comments down below. And this is Trey Pastor saying so long and take care.